and any interested person to check the registration status of the candidates through the use of the short message service or SMS using their mobile phones. And before anyone checks, whoever wants to check should make sure they know the registration number that has been assigned or has been reported to have been assigned to the candidate. So you will go to the message, the menu, and you will type REG, you leave space, and you enter the full index number as you are given, and then you send to 6600. That will return, you'll have a return message that will give you the name of the candidate registered under that number and any other details that you may require to know that the candidate has either been registered or not. In conclusion, we want to call upon concerned parties, especially teachers and parents, to ensure that in the remaining period, necessary teaching and learning, as well as psychosocial support that candidates may require, are given to the candidates to help them effectively prepare for the examination. This is as opposed to planning to indulge in examination malpractice. Once these candidates are supported, they have the required competencies to pass these examinations without any interference. I now wish to release officially the examination timetable. The prints are a bit small, but you will get copies for you to replicate in your examination, on your in your media. Thank you, Martin. This window is not eternally open. We will close about 2 weeks to the start of the examination. We will expect that all corrections, because we've started early, we will expect that all anomalies will have been brought to the attention of the board and the necessary action will have been taken. Because if it involves registration of a candidate who had not been registered for some reason, the board will require time. If it is correction of biodata, also the board will require time. And you have to realize that before we start exams, we have to pack the question papers and arrange to distribute them. So we cannot continue making corrections until the date of the examination. By the time we start distribution of examination materials, these corrections will also stop. So we have advised our examination centers accordingly. Costs, yes, we know that costs have gone up. We anticipated this to happen, and so when we were making up our budget earlier on, we did indicate to Parliament that Uneb will require some additional resources. These resources have been provided, but we are still observing as to whether the costs will continue to mount beyond what we have already been provided. So if we anticipate that the costs might go beyond what we have, then we will certainly run back to ask for a supplementary allocation. As of now, we feel that if costs remain at the level where they are now, we should be able to manage. The costs of managing exams, this is also linked to another question. I think Damali asked that. It's not possible for me to give you the actual figures at this particular time. I did not anticipate that question, so I didn't ask the finance people to tell me exactly what we have in the budget. But it certainly runs in billions of shillings. The administration of exams from the time of printing, preparing the examination papers, the answer booklets, the field conduct, the distribution of examination material, the deployment of about 70,000 persons involved in different activities, including invigilation, supervision, scouting, and then the marking of these examinations and the release of results. Roughly, the cost is slightly over 50 billion shillings. But I cannot give you exactly the amount of money we spend, but the cost is about 50 billion shillings for all the stages. So, as I have said, we have been given some provision, but in the event that we anticipate that we will incur more costs than we already planned for, we will request for additional funding from government. Damali, your question is also about how much we spend. I've already answered that. We have not so far received any school, or we have not known about any school that has failed to register candidates completely. We've been having a few cases coming in because the candidates were sick at the time of registration, and although their parents had paid, the schools decided not to register them, thinking that they would not be ready for the examination. But these have recovered, and those that have been brought to our attention have been attended to. So we have not received so far any case of a school that collected money and has failed to register. We have also run through our examination centers to find out whether any of those examination centers have not returned their registration figures. We have not found any. Normally, this kind of problem is associated with schools that do not have Uneb centers, and Uneb does not have the ability to find out where they are. And that's why we are appealing to parents. If their children are in schools that do not have Uneb centers, they should worry themselves about where the children have been registered. And also if they have been registered, where the schools claim they have been registered. And that's the reason why we're really appealing to the candidates, to the parents. These are the cases that normally turn up when exams are starting, when the candidates realize that they are nowhere. But we have not received any report along those lines as yet. Damali, the increase in the learners, what is causing this increase? We noticed that this increase, actually the increase at PLE and also the slight decrease at UACE. These are not questions you answer offhand. So we have, through our Directorate of Research, and we are working with Makerere University, particularly to see the reason why at UACE, despite the increase of candidates at UCE, the UACE is either stagnant or is dropping. We want a scientific answer to this, so we are linking up with Makerere to do a research, to do a study, and by the time we come to the release of results, we will have some answers as to why this phenomenon is being observed. Similarly, for the drastic increase in PLE, we also want to do a study so that the response that we give will be an informed response rather than based on speculations. Yeah, from Radio Network, yes, we have said that from observation, many cases of examination malpractice occur because the candidates have not been fully briefed or they have not been briefed at all. When you get copies of these timetables, you will see, first of all, we have We have general instructions that are given to the candidates when they should be in the examination room and so on and so forth, when their coursework marks should be sent to Uneb, and then we give the timetable showing the papers, when they will be taken, and how long the duration of each paper. Then after that, we give directions to candidates what they must do before they come into the examination room, and also what they must do once they are already seated in the examination room. And then finally, we end with a caution against malpractice in or around the examination. So we give all these actions that candidates may take. Sometimes it is inadvertent because they are not aware that this is leading to examination malpractice. Sometimes, of course, if they have planned, then they will do it despite what they have been given. But we want to protect those that may fall victim because of lack of knowledge. Because once examination malpractice is already detected, you cannot plead ignorance. That's why we would like these to be brought very, very clearly and in simple terms to our candidates. Anita, how many people are going to be deployed? We are in the process of drawing up the invigilation and supervision programs, and then the scouting programs, and that will give us the total number of persons that we are going to deploy. But as I said, these will be over 70,000 persons involved in different stages of the examination process. The decrease in UAC, I've already answered that. And then also why so many girls. Again, that study that we will do for PLE will also inform us as to why the number of girls being registered are more than that of the boys. But we would like to think maybe because of the campaigns about the girl child not to be neglected, these campaigns have been taken seriously, and parents are ensuring that the female, the girl child is taken to school and kept in school until they reach this level. But we will come with a scientific explanation when our study is done.